those who don't know me, we are a company that helps care to digitalize. We're independent. We're not tied to any one technologies. So what it means is I'm always honest, but I'm opinionated. I will talk to you to the things that are particularly cool or overpriced or rubbish. So I will give you a very honest opinion. We find ourselves in the Excel London. The Excel is a marvel of human engineering. It is wonderful. And guess what? Well done, humans, because nothing works. Nothing works. I've got technologies that need stable internet connection. I've got technologies that need to stream to the screen. I've got technologies. I was planning to actually put sensors on all these chairs and track how busy the different talks were and which nerds sat at the front all the time and things like that. So, for the next half an hour, I want you to close your eyes and imagine. No, it's all right. I had a plan B. I've had a plan B. Be prepared. So, I have got 4 products. I would like to show you how they work. I think they're quite exciting. I think whether these products on their own excite and invigorate your imagination around assistive technologies, or whether they just give you enough to perhaps look at what else is out there, I'll be over the moon. So our first one is this product here. So a lot of you might think this looks very similar to like your Alexas or your Google Minis and things like this. The one fundamental difference, this has been designed and trained to be a companion, a friend, a support worker. You can put this in the home of somebody and it will be that companion for you. If I can get the technology to work, I've got a quick video. Sam. It will be in a minute.
Can you introduce yourself to viewers?
Hello everyone, I'm Santa, a friendly virtual voice companion here to brighten your day, support your well-being, and bring a little extra cheer. Let's make life a little easier together.
That's great. And do you remember we were at the care show today?
Yes, I remember. We're at the K show today. I'm here to help make your demo smooth and engaging. If there's anything you'd like me to say or do for the audience, just let me know.
Well, actually, I've been really wanting a cigarette player, but I'm trying to quit smoking.
You're doing brilliantly by holding out. Every craving you resist is a win for your health. Fancy a glass of water? It helps the craving and gives your body a boost. You've got this.
Yeah, I'll get a glass of water now, actually. I haven't had it in a while.
That's a great decision. Getting some water will help you feel better and keep those cravings at bay. Let me know when you've had some or if you'd like a gentle nudge later.
Will do. Thanks, Santa.
So my hope was to get a member of the audience to come up and interact with the device live, but that wasn't going to work. But hopefully what you're seeing there is a device you could put in an elderly person's home in the world of home care, and it can interact with them. I've used this within my elderly family, and the conversational manner it has, and the fact it's only concerned with your well-being is the exciting bit. You can link this to data that might sit in your support plans and care plans, so it knows when meds should be taken. It will prompt the person to take their medication. If you're trying to get fluid intake up, it'll prompt them, like you heard, to have a glass of water or a cup of tea. It'll badger you. Hi, Geraint. I'm going to keep asking whether you've had a cup of tea until you tell me you have. And it's very much about empowering that individual. And the interactions are heartwarming when you see people using this. I've also explored using it with people with learning disabilities, autism, around outcomes and goals, prompts, help with short-term memory loss, and being your companion in that area. But no, a particularly exciting piece of technology, this idea of an AI companion in your home. Really interested in that. The next product I want to talk about, love the idea of chipping your staff. I want to put barcodes on carers and track things, but they're not a big fan of it, believe it or not. I've done a number of trials with sensor technology where we've gone into places and put sensors around the building. I've done it in physical disability, learning disability, elderly care, dementia, and you start tracking things and you start seeing patterns when you do that. I'm just going to let a video run. So this is of a live floor in an elderly care home. Let me do some explaining. So the crosses are care workers, support workers, carers. The little people are residents that have agreed to be tracked. The way the tracking work is a small fob. Staff would pop it on their lanyard. It's not particularly wearable, it's usually on your uniform. The residents themselves could have it on their person or on a belt or anything like that. So it's just a little fob, not intrusive at all. And you can, I can watch this for hours. Okay, that's a nurse call. Alarm's just gone off. Someone's triggered a nurse call in their room. As is always the case, no one's rushing. Do you want to take bets on who's going to respond to it? They're on their own. I guess it's one of the three, because they can afford to stop what they're doing, I expect. Everything's tracked. You've got this to the second. To the second. So the data will show you exactly, it looks to me like, exactly to the second how long it took someone to respond. We've had to nominalize the data to get away from any identifiable information, but if you want, you can turn names on. So names appear against these, so you can see which staff are doing what. We use this kind of technology in a home. We kitted out all of the communal areas and all the corridors, and we left it running for 2 weeks. I sat with the service manager, and we watched it. We looked at the data, because the data's quicker to analyze than watching 24 hours of video. And one of the things we spotted was the night staff. They had 2 staff at night on that floor. And you watch them go into room 1, hoist, wash someone, toilet them, get them into bed, into room 2, into room 3, and then suddenly one staff member would leave and run around the building and then run back because somebody had set off a nurse call. Were they leaving someone in a hoist? Well, you're not meant to leave. You've got to be doubled up for the duration. You're not meant to leave. But how could they not respond? You've just put your staff in an impossible situation and they were dealing with it the best way they could. The service manager cried. I've been trying to get more staff at night from head office for 9 months. They've asked for data. They've asked for proof. Now I have that proof. So yes, I cost that care company way more money. But it's really fascinating what you can do with this. You can see which staff are doing med rounds. You can put tags on static objects. Static, that'd be ridiculous. On objects like meds trolleys and mobile hoists. And you can track the movement of those things going around. But you can get phenomenal insight from spatial graphics like this, where you're looking at things over a geography. Okay, the next one, let's see. Bear with me. So, this is a social media platform. But what I'm going to show you that's particularly interesting here is the way they've used AI. So this is the platform. I'm tethering from my phone. Everyone cross your fingers. It's a social media platform. I'll talk about that in a moment while it's going. So let me click on this post here. Come on. Behave. Live demos, ladies and gentlemen. They told me not to do it. Okay. Close your eyes and imagine. We're there. So this is a post that someone's done. I'm allowed to leave a comment like any other social media. Let's leave a comment. You all look stupid. You should have stayed at home. And I'll post that comment. Whether this works or not, I don't know. But what it's doing right now is that comment and posts and chats are fed through an AI that's looking at the context of what you've written and trying to work out, are you a nice human being? Sadly, if anyone here have ever been on social media, there's an awful lot of not very nice human beings. And we'll see if I get a pop-up. Fingers crossed I do. But what's interesting about this kind of use for AI is imagine this was attached to the care plan, the daily, oh, here we go. I'll bring your attention to the tone that's used. This isn't accusational, is it? It's not a stick. Let's get this sorted. The message contains words that could hurt someone's feelings and make them feel bad about themselves. Using words like stupid or saying someone should have stayed at home can be hurtful and make others feel unwelcome or upset. Consider using kind, supportive words. Education. How wonderful is that? Could you imagine if your care plans, your risk assessments, your daily notes, your forms, your charts had this on it? Nudging, supporting the carer to get it right first time. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't word it like that. That's lovely, but you've told us nothing. Where's your imagination? Give us a little bit about something you actually did today. And then I can delete or edit it. I think that was a horrible comment and it really should be deleted. I've got one more thing to show you, but can we pause for a moment to take questions? Has anyone got any of the questions of the 3 technologies I've shown so far? This AI companion, this kind of tracking, visual tracking of staff, and that AI buddy that supports you in writing. Has anyone used these? Oh, wonderful. You didn't know you were going to get a microphone. You're regretting it. Oh. Oh. Just trying to work it out. I think she said, the rest of the audience stinks. And I'll repeat it for everyone.
I wanted to know if Sentai is does it have multi-languages or is just one?
So at the moment, this is just in English. It's not in other languages yet, but that's definitely the way it's going. Definitely the way it's going. My example of the AI in Big Life Adventure platform, that AI is going to be able to work with loads of different languages. Could you imagine if the support worker could write a care note in Hebrew and the buddy goes, hi, looks like you've used Hebrew. Do you want me to change it for you? And you flip it over. Do you have a scan through, make sure I've got it right? Brilliant, brilliant. So many of our care staff don't have English as their first language. Do you have a microphone yet? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could we see perhaps Alexa or Google Home get something like this?
Okay, really good
Instead of
question.
this device?
Yeah, really good question. So, why would you buy this if there's Google and Alexa? That's a technical estate that might already exist in people's homes. So, if you could leverage that, it probably makes a lot more financial sense. A really good question. So, people have been trying to use this in, particularly with Alexa, more than Google. They've been trying to do this and failing. Alexa, Amazon only just released an update about a year and a half ago that let one login control multiple devices. That didn't exist. You couldn't, with one login, manage the devices in every resident's room. But they have solved that now, so you can do it. The biggest problem is that companion side of it. Google and Amazon bots are not designed to cuddle you, to think of your welfare. They're there to be functional and to gather data so that those corporates can sell it without your consent. They've not really designed it. And I think the genius of this isn't what I'm holding. The genius is the training and learning of the AI model to be that human companion for you. And this stuff's only going to get better. It really is.
Excuse me. I have a question about the AI companion. During the communication process, it seemed disassociated. Is there a way you could communicate with the person to human-like? I don't know. It's the communication process seems computer-like.
Yeah. No, that's a really good question. I suppose I've got a positive and a negative to it. One is, that was a demo. That was someone being quite robotic with the device. I have genuinely seen it at point of care with a vulnerable person. And that vulnerable person, I don't know if anybody else's family did this, but my gran, every time she watched the news presenter would say, "Good morning." She'd say "good morning" back. Every single time, no matter what. And I've seen that kind of interaction with it. Comes downstairs, there's a sensor built into the front, so it doesn't talk to an empty room. It knows when you've come into the room and it'll say, "Good morning, how you feeling today?" There's a spring in my step, thank you. Wonderful to hear. Well, in that case, are you going to go outside today? What do you think you're going to do? You told me yesterday you posted that letter. What could you do today? And it's far more conversational. It really is. I promise you. But my point also would be, it's only going to get better. It's only going to get more human and far more fluid. Okay, I'm going to share the last piece of technology. So here I have, I've got augmented reality headsets or a mixed reality headset. I really wanted one of you to come up and use it. I really did. But it needs a constant, robust Wi-Fi signal. And it needs you to move around. And the two things don't go well together in this massive steel hall. So what is augmented reality? So it's very much like virtual reality, which a lot of people will probably be quite au fait with. But you'll put it on over whatever you're wearing naturally. So it goes over my glasses and it presents as a pair of glasses for me. It's completely see-through. I can see you all. I can see all my environment. It hasn't stopped my field of view in any way, like other similar technologies do. And what it will do is a few cool things. One thing it does is it lets me create things in front of me and spatially anchor them. So what it means is, I could write in the air with my finger. Eraint is great. I can walk to the other end of the building, walk all the way back, and it's still there. I can walk around it, and it will still picture it. I can see it from behind, and it'll be backwards. How have I used this? I've used it with a young gentleman with acquired brain injury. who couldn't navigate his way to the corner store. He couldn't. He always had to have a support worker with him. He put this on. He painted a line along the pavement, a virtual line. He had to cross a road. He wrote a note for himself on the pavement, and he drew a little red man in front of the road. We stopped, he slept, he woke up, he went and did it. He put the glasses on, he followed the line, he got anxiously to the crossing, he had a note for himself. I've used it also with somebody with autism and learning disabilities. We went into their kitchen and drew pictures on all the cupboards. Cups, cutlery, and all this. You can build a menu that pops up. What are you having for breakfast? Toast. And then the cupboards highlight in front of you and glow. This is the one with the bread in. This is the toaster. It recognizes these things for you as you go around. They're rather lightweight. They're coming down in price. This is their second version, HoloLens 2. HoloLens 1 was £3,200. HoloLens 2, £1,200. Discontinued. Number 3's coming out. 3 will be under £1,000. Lighter with longer battery life. I do wish I could have got somebody using it. I've used it with dementia. They had a problem with one lady trying to escape. We're not allowed to call it that. She was walking with purpose through a fire exit. She loved butterflies. She used to have a collection of butterflies. She draws butterflies. She wears butterflies. We used that. We created a quick program that meant butterflies would follow her when she's wearing it. Sparkling butterflies. And the butterflies would always fly back to her room. Always. Any corner, any change, any lift, anything. They would always fly out in front of her, back to her room. That gentle nudge, that visual nudge, meant she wandered further from her room, but staff could let her, because she'd always come back round. She was never allowed to other floors. They allowed her to go to other floors, because then it would always bring her back up the lift and back home. She'd always follow the butterflies. I'm really fascinated to see what this kind of technology could do. Imagine a carer, domiciliary care, home care, carer wears it and walks up to someone's door, and there's the key safe number for their eyes only, just hovering in front of the door. Below it, the daily notes, the patient on a page, whatever you might have, the handover notes appear just below it. Remember to use her first name. You've not seen her before. You've not been to this client before. You know, she's very particular, take your shoes off. That kind of stuff just floats in front of them and things like that. So I'm quite excited by these technologies. Look, I am a geek. I predict. I stood here 3 years ago and made the same prediction and got it wrong. So there's no reason for you to trust me. But I genuinely predict in 3 years' time, we'll start seeing this kind of technology come into social care. For the first time ever, 2 years ago, I saw an elderly gentleman walk into an elderly care home going, "Where do I plug in my Alexa?" Mate, forget that, you haven't even got Wi-Fi. I predict the same thing. A son walks in with his mum, "Where do I plug in my sensors?" Where do I plug in her buddy, her friend, whatever she ends up calling it? That's probably going to be the catalyst that makes the sector start adopting this kind of technology. But consider offering a catalogue to your clients and their families. Here's the cost of care for your mum. Here's some upsells. Here's some auxiliary products that could give you transparency, could make your mum's well-being better, and things like that. I've done that a few times now. You will always have some customers. You'll always have some customers. Okay, I'd like to throw it back out to questions. Wonderful. There was a lot of questions there, but I think they're all poignant, and it'll be really good for you to all hear all the answers to it. So thank you. Wonderful. So products like this, you're probably spending just over £100 to buy it, and you're going to be paying something like £50, £55 a month for it. If it's over that, argue with them and make them force it down. I would like to see this technology at £30 to £35. That's what I would like it to be, that kind of number. But at the moment, it is higher than that because it's still new. It's still new. That's the kind of pricing for it. Yes, it can do alerts. It's got that sensor at the front. I haven't heard you for a little while. I haven't heard from you for a little while. Are you there? Are you there? Are you there? Set an alert up. Somebody's speaking to her at 2 a.m. Set an alert off. It comes with a really fantastic app that gives you all the data. Carers, family members can see the interactions that mum's having with it. Interventions that it's done. But yes, it definitely does that kind of stuff. Your third question. Oh yeah, lying. Yeah, deceit. Is somebody just starting to say, yeah, I had a glass of water. Yeah, I got a glass of water. At the moment, it's just picking up pattern. They've always said no, whoops, sorry, and then they suddenly say yes all the time. At the moment, it just picks up pattern, but it's certainly absolutely going to start getting that. I need to hear that again. In fact, I need to hear the water running type thing. On Big Life Adventure, yes, I think that AI model they're using is just going to grow across the platform, and it's going to start nudging users to afford them more friends on the platform, to read from other systems where the care notes might sit and the risk assessments might sit, and feed that into their use of the platform. For example, if the person's got a bad habit of grooming in the world of learning disabilities, that's quite common. So mental health, learning disabilities, acquired brain injury, they might be attracted to people and try and groom them. If that's in their risk assessments, that's in their care notes, that could come through to the platform, and the AI will nudge them away from the language that might appear. Yeah, that's definitely the way that product's going. Absolutely, no, wonderful. Wonderful, my challenge to you is to have a go with these things. Hopefully this has been really useful. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.